What up? This is Matt with Gear Zombie, and today we are going to talk about the Evo 8 interface. Thanks for stopping and checking out this video. If you do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, and hit the like. I want you guys to come back for more videos. And as always, links to everything used in this video will be down in the description. Okay, so first and foremost, the Evo 8 interface. I decided on a whim that I wanted an additional interface, either for podcasting or who knows what I was gonna do. Most all of my interfaces are over in a rack here. They're big rack mount things. They permanently live in their racks and they're kind of a pain to lug around. And I kind of wanted something that I could maybe just throw in a laptop bag, take someplace to do a podcast. I mean, just have everything all nice and condensed and ready to roll and still get a good professional sound. The first thing I actually found that came up on the radar was the Evo 4. Now, before we get going too far, the 8 is basically the same thing as the 4, just with more ends. The Evo 4 is a ridiculous $129. A full-featured interface for $129 with 4 ends. It is a full-featured tiny interface with 2 microphone ins, preamps, whole deal. Not only that, it has an instrument in, it's got headphone out, it's got monitor outs, and something called Smart Gain. Smart Gain, which basically is hit a button, do your thing, and the interface is gonna figure out what the best level is for your audio. So I looked at the Evo 4 and I thought to myself, what would be gooder than 4 would be 8, which is what we have here. Basically the same interface, only you have more ins and outs. I can't imagine that there will ever be a time where I'll be someplace remotely where I'm gonna want more than 4 microphone ins. And then if I do, I have bigger hardware for that. I've then crossed the threshold into needing to do something different. Let's open this up and then we'll talk about it while we go. Okay, the Evo 8 and 4 interface by Audient. These are portable desktop style interfaces. The Evo 8 has 4 microphone inputs and 1 instrument, and the Evo 4 has 2 microphone inputs and 1 instrument. They both have phantom power. They both record up to 24-bit and 96 kilohertz. The 8 has 2 quarter-inch headphone jacks and the 4 has 1. They also both use USB-C ports. They're completely USB powered, so no external power supply is required. There is software supplied with the driver that is called Evo Software Mixer, and the Evo 8 comes in just over 1 pound. It is plastic construction, yet it's very sturdy feeling. And since recording this video footage, I've been using this interface almost exclusively, and I can honestly say that it performs and sounds just as good as my interfaces that are 4 to 6 times the cost of the Audient. Nice box presentation. And look, they even tell you right there, make recording easy. I'm all about making recording easy. This is your manual. Got all your modes on here. Got a USB-C cable. Oh, I really like this. I really like the appearance of this interface. Got your nice dial on the front. Got your ins and outs on the back. And then on the front, you're also, come on, you can do it. You can focus. There you go. And on the front, you also have your instrument in as well as your a pair of headphone outs. So that's awesome. So this particular device has a USB-C connector on it. Let's hook this up. Right now, the audio that you're hearing, I'm recording through my Shure SM7B, which is going into a cloud lifter, which gives it a clean boost of gain, into a Roland Octacapture, and then I'm recording with Cakewalk by BandLab, which is my DAW of choice. I have loaded up Cakewalk by BandLab on this laptop, and we are going to hook this thing up and see what we can do. What will probably be my first complaint with this thing is going to be it needs to set up at an angle. Like, it should almost have feet that fold out, like just a little stand, you know, so that you can set it like this, because you're going to want to be able to see without having to peer over and figure out what's going on. That's another time. Okay, so when we look at the instructions here, the features, channels 1, 2, 3, and 4, phantom power for condenser microphones, smart gain mode, volume knob, output 1 volume button, output 2 volume button. You could actually just have a pair of headphones plugged into this, and you can toggle between the two to adjust their volume. Phantom power in order to use 4 channels of phantom power simultaneously. A USB C-to-C connection must be used. If you're using a USB-A connection, you'll only be able to use 2 channels of phantom power. So if the device that you're connecting to does not have a USB-C connection and you have to use a USB-C to a USB Type A adapter or cable, then you can only push enough power to run Phantom on 2 of the microphones. That's good to know. And then we have a nice little description here on how to use the smart gain mode. So I've installed the Evo software on my laptop here, and you can see as I'm speaking, we've got the mic control here. We've got control for the other mics. We also have control for our outs. Pretty much basic DAW features. That being said, as you can see here, I'm not getting a whole ton of gain. Let's see what we can do here about that. Pretty well cranked. That's about all she wrote. And that's with the Shure SM7B. And that's why I normally run an SM7B with the Cloud Lifter, because as you can see here, I have to have the gain completely cranked. And let's see what we're at. I mean, we can see where we're metering over here, and we're a little bit louder. Let's see if we can figure out this smart gain thing. So press the smart gain button to begin. So that's this thing. The smart gain LED will illuminate, and the input channel LEDs 1, 2, 3, 4 begin flashing, indicating a channel must be selected. So we're going to select channel 1. Press 1 or more of the input channel buttons to be adjusted. Press the smart gain again to begin the process. So right now it is completely cut my audio, and you're probably hearing camera audio right now, which is not going to be that attractive. Indicating that smart gain mode is now listening, and we have now selected exactly what I knew I was going to need for smart gain, which was all you got, buddy. This is actually pretty cool, especially like if you were sitting wanting to podcast with other people and you just wanted to hit their levels quick, you could just boom, hit their levels, have them talking, and that will compensate. Now, check. If I get really loud, check. Yeah, see, it'll overdrive it there. So, which that's going to be completely distorted, but that's still pretty awesome. And you could do some things after the fact. I was listening back to some of the audio quality just a little bit ago. I mean, it sounds good. These preamps sound good. This actually sounds pretty clean, but overall, this sounds super quiet. It's not hissy. It's not disgusting. It's just a good, clean sound. And for the price tag, I mean, this guy, the 8 is $199. I mean, just having a USB powered interface that I can just toss in a bag with a couple of cheap mics if I wanted to, and go someplace for a podcast or whatever and run it all with my laptop, that's great. And then in the end, it doesn't really matter what I have going on here. I mean, I can correct all this after the fact if I want to. I can add compression, I can add EQ, I can do whatever I want in my DAW later. That's the only thing about these cheaper interfaces that kind of suck. Like my bigger interfaces, I've got my Rolands and my Motus over there, and those have things like compression and limiting and all that stuff built in. So if I'm having people over, I can hard limit them. So if they, don't have any idea how to use a microphone, which happens, I can stop it at the interface and keep it from clipping and getting distorted. With a cheaper interface, you don't have that sort of capability to clamp it down going in, but you do have, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not even close to distorting. So this is nothing. As a matter of fact, you could almost use more power, which is where, let's just try this real quick with a Cloud Lifter. And now look, we have all kinds of gain. Now we can get ridiculous with it. And that is what is so beautiful about these Cloud Lifters. I absolutely love these things. I got to meet these guys at NAMM a couple years ago, and I actually have a Cloud Lifter video from that NAMM show, but these guys are great. And this is a fantastic product, especially if you're using a microphone like the SM7B or the EV-RE20, something like that, that is super, super juice hungry. But you can tell already just from putting in the Cloud Lifter, like my gain is set. We're still pretty well cranked up here. So Cloud Lifter, totally not necessary. You could always boost this volume afterwards if you needed to. Not enough for me to really care. I still think for a minimalist setup, the Evo 4 or the Evo 8, either one, I mean, this thing coming in at $199 and you get your 4 ins, go with it. Provided you have a USB Type-C connector on whatever device you're using. That was the caveat with the 48-volt phantom power, but at least if you're trying to power all 4 inputs. Other than that, man, this is a pretty cool little guy. I'm actually really tickled that I got this. If I want to do a podcast or something in my house right now, or I want to record audio for something, I'm more or less stuck to this room. There's other things I can do. It's a big pain in the ass, though, if I want to either take an interface out of the rack, but just having something as simple as an Evo 8 or an Evo 4, bravo. Good little device. I am super impressed with this. I'm going to be using this for the next few videos, and maybe I'll give you a follow-up and see what I think. Until next time, this has been Matt with Gear Zombie. If you like anything that's been going on in this video, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do me a favor. Do all those things. It makes my channel so much better. And leave a comment. What do you think? Do you like these little Evo interfaces? Is this something that you would use? I mean, this thing sounds great. I'm actually really impressed with how it sounds. All right. Till next time, Gear Zombie.